And YouTubers are the last to see you. And
Last but not least.
All right. Okay. Live everywhere. Live viewers.
Hello, everybody on the internet. My name is Reggie, and this is my lovely co-host, Coco. And welcome to the Berkeley Poetry Slam. Yes, it is December. We are back with another week of live poetry. I am super excited. But before we begin, I have to first thank the people that make shows like this possible. I have to thank our patrons. Over at patreon.com, our patrons have been donating monthly over the course of this quarantine to keep our doors in our Zoom rooms open, giving us the power to continue paying our artists, paying our features, paying our organizers, and being able to give cash prizes out for a completely free show. They've also put us in the position to, once we come back, be able to open up our doors to all performers for the free. So I'd like to give a shout out to all of our patrons, but in particular, I'd like to give a shout out to Renee Edmonds, Calla Lily, and Emily Chow for being regulars. Your support is so important. I'd also like to give a shout out to Jessica Kozakic for supporting our workshops. Thank you so much. And last but not least, I would like to give a super duper special shout out, and Coco wants to give some kisses out to Alice Grimm and Sarah O'Connell for pledging $100 a month to support the Allen Bluford Center, one of our venues. It's really important that we support the places and the spaces that allow us to exist, especially during quarantine, when these spaces are losing income. Sorry about that. But yeah, thank you so much to all of our patrons. If you'd like to become a patron, you can visit patreon.com/richoakevents to become a patron. You can donate anywhere from $2 a month to $100 a month. All of that goes right back into running these shows, making sure that we can pay for our artists, pay for our Zoom subscription, and everything that it takes in order to be able to run a show. Oh my goodness, Coco looks so cute right now. But this show is not about Coco. It's about these amazing artists. We have a really beefy lineup of amazing poets tonight and an amazing feature, Milani Pelley. But before we get to the show, I gotta lay down some ground rules first for the poets. Oh, Coco, be careful. Shit. Y'all poets, y'all have rules. No props, no costumes, no musical accompaniment, no nudity. We do not want to see your genitals. We don't want to see a nipple. This is a family show. And by that, I mean Zuckerberg is watching this on Facebook and he'll take all this shit down if he sees something. So please don't. Please
Dorsey
don't.
is as well. Dorsey on Twitter.
Who?
Dorsey, Jack Dorsey.
I don't know her. Any
Twitter CEO.
I don't be paying attention about who run Twitter. All I know is that Black people run the parts of Twitter I be on. Shout out to Twitter and everyone who's watching us on Twitter. But yeah, more important than the no nudity rule, which I don't see why this is more important, but I can see why, is your time limit. You have 3 minutes with a grace period of 10 seconds to say what you want. After 3 minutes and a grace period of 10 seconds, you will be deducted points by our scorekeeper. After 4 minutes, normally we have a DJ when we're in person, and we'll guide you off stage with pleasant music that graciously and politely rises as you continue on past 4 minutes. But we cannot do any of the polite things that we would normally do because Zoom is limited. All we have is a mute button and my residual awkwardness. So please don't go over 4 minutes because um, it's gonna it's gonna be painful for everyone involved, and we'd rather not deal with any of that painful, awkward moments that are going to happen. You can even tell right now I'm awkward about it. Please just don't make me any awkward than I already am. I'm awkward enough. Lit. Top 5 poets. We'll move on to our second round. And then, of course, we have our word of the day, a time-honored tradition where we force poets to jam a random word into their poem for an extra point. Our word of the day today is rescind. It means to remove, to delete, to take back, um, or to cancel or take away. So, if poets, um, if you use rescind in your poem, you get an extra point. Judges, you don't have to worry about that extra point. Our scorekeeper will take care of that as well. Speaking of judges, y'all have rules too. Y'all have the hardest job of the night. You have to judge the poetry openly. You will be giving a score from 0.0 to 10.0, 0.0 being the worst piece of shit you have ever heard in your life. You would rather die, rip out your earrings, dig out your eardrums than to ever think about hearing that poem again. 10 is the best thing you have ever heard. Like every time you hear that poem, a baby laughs and an angel grows its wings and a puppy gives you those little eyes that make you want to go all over your hairy face. And that's just an 8.0. Point being, there's not a lot of 10s, there's not a lot of zeros. Score accordingly. There's this thing called score creep, where as the night goes on and we may or may not be doing things to make ourselves feel more relaxed in our own homes. I'm not gonna bust nobody out because some things are legal somewhere at places and some things aren't. But as the night goes on, the poetry starts sounding better, and that is not fair for the people who had to go first when you was bitter and not buttered up. So to avoid that, we're going to have a sacrificial poet. They are going to go before everyone else. They are not competing, but you are going to score them like they are. Any poems you like more than the sacrifice, score them higher. Any poems that you don't, any poems that you do not have, any poems you do not like, any poems you don't have, I guess don't bring them. But any poems you don't like as much, score them lower. Lit. And then for y'all sitting at home, yeah, you got rules too. I'm up in your house telling you what to do. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing, because this is my show. But you got rules too. Rule number 1, like, share, subscribe, whatever you gotta do to stay in touch with us. We do these shows like hella times a month. Like there's 5 slams, 2 open mics, and 7 writing workshops that Rich Oak Events does every month. So you don't want to miss out on any of that. So whatever platform you're on, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, subscribe, like us, follow us, make sure you're keeping us up with us because you want to see more of this content. And who knows, maybe we will see you in one of these Zoom rooms. But yes, and then most important is that wherever you are watching, please, 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 please show love in the comment section. Our live stream specialist, our technical wizard, dare I call them God? Our God posts your comments into the comment section of the Zoom so we get to see how much love you are showing, and it warms my heart to see how much support that you have for live art that's being delivered directly into your living room. So we love to see that support. Let us know. It makes us feel good. It makes me feel good. It's gonna make the night better. Lit.
I ban the trolls.
Yeah.
Beware.
Don't be a dick. That's how you get banned. I don't play that shit. Arvin don't play that shit. We don't play that shit. Rich Oak don't play that shit. But what we do play is community support. Our feature, Milani, got a GoFundMe to support being moved out of a toxic situation. We believe that while one of us might not have the ability to fulfill that fundraising goal, we believe that the entire community has the resources if we put ourselves together, and to support the people in our community that have the most need. So we're going to post that GoFundMe into the chat section of our live streams. It's already in the chat of our Zoom. If you can, if you got it, I know the holidays are coming up, but you know, if you got it, if you just got that holiday bonus and you're feeling generous, definitely drop it on community members that need support. The holidays are some of the toughest times to not have support. So definitely send that in. It's at $450 right now. I'm gonna encourage us to get to $1,000 by the end of the night. I think we can do it, but you know, it's all up to you at home. So keep donating. But enough of me. Are y'all ready to hear who is in this slam? Make some noise if you're ready to hear. Gang, and I cannot stress this enough. Gang. So the poets will be reading in this order. We got Anita D, then we got My Lord, then we got Kai, then we have Mike T, then we got Summertime, then we got Jordan Wilson, then we got Mecca Miles, and then we got Symbolic Lit. Gang, gang. You can't see me, but I was like low-key throwing it back like slowly, like when you lazy and you just trying to like but not really anything too major. I'm really excited for this list of poets. So are we ready to get into this slam? No, because we need our we got a lonely woo and it made me feel sad because I said no before it. But yes, we have a sacrificial poet, someone to get the judges all lubed up to poetry. So everyone say, spill the blood.
Spill the blood.
Maximum love for your sacrificial poet, Tino.
To the ash, to the piñata that spells destruction, to all the petals I have shed before, to the papel picado that is stretched over cardboard, to the cannon that spills out, to the bolo, a rain of quarters, a blessing for prosperous pockets, the seam that threatens to undo itself, for the backhand of capitalism, to the candy, may it bring peace to your enamel, to all the bones that grow and wish to shine white. I swear fire will not be the end of us. We dance until the grief has nowhere to go. To the silence of blood, to the blood that rebels, for my family who is all femur instead of whole calavera, always second place to a white man's monument, to the white man who made a monument, who confettied her ashes at his party, for all the looted silver, to the bodies of water they drain, just to fetch more gold, to the land that is called mother, to the land of no children, trinkets and pockets, to loose change for the BART fare, for the body that contorts its paper, to bleed color, there is resting place for our souls too. All the breath we weave is sacred, to labor of willing hands, to the givers and those who receive with permission, to those who weaponize fire, to the riot in their marrow, to all the heads who will meet a guillotine, to the shower of blood, to the candy on the streets and the rust in the rivers.
Lit. Give it up for Tino. Gang. And poets or judges, please send your scores to Tino. I see somebody sent their score to me. If you could send that to Tino VH Jr. That way, you know, there's a little bit less confusion. But yeah, Lit. Judges, that was your first poet. You know what you're doing now. I'm so excited. Audience, I don't know about you, but I think these judges don't necessarily know what they're doing. So I need y'all to like make as much noise and show as much love for these poets as possible in order to possibly maybe kind of, I don't know, sway these judges just a little bit. I see somebody say give it a 10 in the comment section. I'm not here to judge whether or not that is correct. I'm just saying that you are allowed to put things like that in the comment section to try to sway the judges.
I'm still waiting on two more judges.
Lit. So with that being said, we have our sacrifice, which means we're ready to start the show. Oh shit. My list closed. So on deck, we have but give maximum love to the first poet in our slam. Give it up for Anita D.
Woo! And the psych ward says, there is no need to worry. This asylum was built to help you. And just like the straps on the stretcher that you rolled in on, we are going to keep you safe and secured. Notice the locked doors and all the cameras perched in the corners like hawks. We will be watching, but this is all for you and your well-being. You are sick, anxious, depressed, a danger to yourself. The state told us to hold you for 72 hours, but if you sign this paper, we could pretend your stay here this weekend is voluntary. Friday morning, you will be woken up by strangers in white coats and clipboards. You will be asked again and again and again about why and how you want to kill yourself. Be honest. Remember, you are only here for 3 days, so take advantage of the 5 to 10 minutes you have with the doctors. But understand, he has a list of patients as long as his pay stub, so you won't be receiving any actual therapy sessions while you're here, but we will recommend them as treatment for after we let you out. Until then, we want you to be comfortable. So sit back, enjoy the plastic furniture and coloring books. We have old radios with no antenna, but the static is still loud enough to drown out the sound of the woman screaming in 2B. That's just Cindy. She just does that sometimes. Well, she didn't always, but she does now. And until we can find the right medication, we are going to keep helping her, just like we want to keep helping you. If only you let us. It's Monday morning and you haven't even tried the meds yet. You're still lying to us about holding the knife to your arm like your parents haven't already told us everything. Just be honest and let us help you. Did I mention that the state only recognizes psychiatric patients Monday through Friday? Meaning, the past 48 hours you spent here didn't even count. Meaning, we still have time for a breakthrough or a breakdown. This is a good thing. This means we still have time to help you. And I can see that you're getting upset, but do not walk away from me with tears streaming and knuckles buried in palms. That type of body language is aggressive, and we might have to do something about that. A sedative, maybe diazepam, perhaps. I don't think being alone is best for you right now. Maybe you should spend time with the other patients. Get to know how they got here. Listen to them when they tell you you got lucky getting stuck in this psych ward. We are one of the good ones, and we want you to stay here. We figure if we keep you long enough, maybe you'll eventually start to fit in, or maybe if we keep you locked up, you'll eventually start to act out, and we will be right here waiting to prescribe you something, to label you with a diagnosis. We didn't cause your social anxiety. We only heightened what was already there. We just want to see you reach your full potential as a patient. We told you, this asylum was built to help you. God damn.
I cannot stress this enough, gang.
Woo!
Woo!
Give maximum love for Anita D. How much? 28. Lit. For reference, like my favorite section in the library, because I love the dictionary. For reference, I don't know why y'all letting me go on these tangents. For reference, Tino, our sacrifice, got a 28.1. A 28.1. Fuck the scores. I don't give a fuck about no scores. I don't give a fuck about no points. I'm not here for no goddamn points. I'm here for some poetry, and that is what we are serving. Big poetry energy. It's giving me drama. It's giving me writing. It's giving me performance. We love it, and that is what we are here for. Lit. We hit 510 on that GoFundMe, an anonymous $50 donation. Shout out to whoever it was. Y'all great. Keep it up. Still going to encourage y'all. We'll post the GoFundMe again in the chat. Definitely to support our feature tonight. We definitely believe in supporting community, not just in actions, but monetarily, especially during the holidays. It is especially hard to get support, and even harder to be without support during the holidays. So I am not going to encourage you. I'm going to more like strongly suggest and / or look at you real funny if you don't. But like, you know, I'm going to encourage, push, ask, demand that you give something if you can. If you can't give something, what I'm going to demand, ask, and push for you to do is to share it in any way that you feel comfortable. Because we don't all have money, but we all know somebody who got money, or we all know somebody who knows somebody who got money. And the biggest ways that we get support is not through our network, but how our individual networks branch out and branch out and branch out. So if you can't donate, share. If you can donate and share. Because if you got money, you definitely know with people with money, and they need to be giving too. Because community needs to be taken care of. And who's going to take care of our community if we don't take care of our community? We keep asking our governments and the big people who we are fighting against for fucking over our community to take care of our community when we're not willing to take care of ourselves. So it's important that we support the individuals in our community that are doing work, that are struggling, that are doing anything that need help. Because nobody else is going to do it. And we got another anonymous $50 donation. That's what I'm talking about. Community supports community. Whoever that was, I fucks with you. You always got a home at Rich Oak, at any of our events. You always got a home. And if you don't donate, you always got a home too. But yeah, on deck, we have Kai. But give maximum love to the next poet coming up. Give it up for my...
Y'all hear me?
Hey.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, okay. I want to give content warnings for hospital mentions, internalized homophobia and transphobia, and subtle allusion to suicide. This is called The Gender Binary and Other Myths. I'm gay. Gay like I like girls. Gay like I like NBs. Gay like I am attracted to maybe one dude on a good day or a bad day, depending upon how you look at it. Gay like I basically like all girls. Gay like fuck it or you or me. I'm gay like I once set myself up with my ex-roommate in the hospital because we shared coping skills to help with others' homophobia. Gay like, ooh, how many pride stickers can I get? But not gay like pride flag because my friends would say I'm taking it too far. Gay like even my friends I'm too gay for. Like, why would you call yourself an ally then call me extra for loving? Gay like I was in and out of the closet too many times. Gay like I came out as bi then got called slur so many times. Gay like I uncame out, rescinded that shit and cried myself to hanger in the closet, clothes hanging and skin bone laying in the corners. Gay like I serenade the closet as my lover. Gay like I claimed closet to be work, home, bed, womb, and casket. Spent so much time with the only thing that loved me back. Or pretended it did. Gay like I came out as she, they before they, them because I knew no one would accept a complete transition. Gay like why would you only accept me halfway? Gay like my parents try to get my name right sometimes. Like they sometimes try to use my pronouns. Gay like they only use my pronouns around family, friends, or people they know accept me. Gay like my parents are too shy to correct people. Gay like my parents don't feel the need to correct people. Gay like people still tell me I dress too feminine to be non-binary. Gay like you say this shit while cis. Gay like shaved my head just so everyone would stop calling me a girl. Gay, like that one time I dyed my hair 3 times in 1 month just so people wouldn't get that I'm gay. Yeah. Gay, like I wish I could like my job. Gay, like I'm used to way too much bullshit. Gay, like I wish people would stop dead naming me. Gay, like wearing men's cologne makes me feel less feminine, even though I could find the same thing in women's packaging. Like, when will we stop gendering smells? Gay, like some bitch on TikTok said that everyone is non-binary now, and I had to keep scrolling so I didn't get harassed. Gay, like where did that come from? Gay, like she's that same bitch that called me slurs 2 weeks ago. Gay, like queerness isn't a trend. Gay, like stop making queerness a trend. I'm gay. Like I like to apologize for something you do to me before you even done it. Gay, like gay. Thank you.
Woo! Let's
Hey,
go,
give
poet.
it up for
They did
my
They did that.
gang, and I cannot say this enough. Gang. Yes. I forgot to mention this earlier. That's my apologies. We do allow content warnings, trigger warnings. We highly encourage them. If you use a content warning or trigger warning at the beginning of your poem, it does not count towards your time. Just for your information. And if anything that you hear on this stage, while we don't censor poets, we do encourage everyone to take care of themselves. So if you hear anything that is upsetting or triggering, we highly encourage you to do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself. And if you feel comfortable, definitely check in with with me, with another organizer. If something happened that we need to have a discussion about, something problematic happens, we facilitate those conversations. We welcome them. Just let us know. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Thank you. And for reference, my favorite section of the library, Anita D got a 29.4. Woo! Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet, the point. We are here for the poetry, not the points. Lit. I'm excited. I'm really excited. On deck, we got my team, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Kai.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. Content warning, slavery, I guess. Okay. It's called A Sad Song. I'm sorry to my people who are captured, sold into slavery, working for the one who promises pearls and mirrors, your bare backs, broken, beaten, and bruised, while those you left behind were made slaves too in their own land. The slick, scandalous, slandering tongue degraded your value, abandoned who you were to survive this rotten, redundant, racist country. Stolen from in more ways than one. Peace, oh peace, be upon your souls. Culture, cuisine, commodities, every single thing they took, still take, without so much as a look on what it means, who it represents, by mediocre, malicious, murderous men. Peace, oh peace, be upon your souls. Mines and fields were equally cold, mining hours a day, cotton and coal. Cocoa skin, a kiss of death, knocked, kicked, and killed by men. Skin lighter than you, who knew death was based on the saturation of your hue. Peace, oh peace, be upon your souls. Oh, tears you would shed, great chiefs, dirges would now be daily songs. Death, disasters, and destruction have never been lifted, hunted by clans yet. But shall we rescind? Our men still slayed for just as less as stealing a pig, solicitous, savage, sinister tongues. Promises turned to lies. A thief does not know how to keep, even with rights. We're scared in our sleep. Peace, oh peace, be upon your souls. Thank you.
Okay. Give it up for the poet.
Snaps, claps, and applause.
And most importantly, judges, send your scores to Tino. You can't see, but I'm actually pointing at Tino because he's kind of in the room with me. But yeah. Ooh, hold on. Give me 2 seconds. What was that score? Oh, sorry. Lit. And for reference, my got a 26.7. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet, not the points. We are always here for the poetry and not the points. The points are just a way to trick a whole bunch of people to get into a room to listen to the goddamn poetry. So, in essence, the points wouldn't exist without the poetry, and therefore the poetry is more important than the points. If we had a whole bunch of points and no poetry, we would be the stock market. We wouldn't be a slam. So, I'm so glad that this is all about the poetry and not the points. Speaking of things that do actually matter, the GoFundMe that we are here to support is currently at $580 with another $20 donation. I'm gonna encourage us, keep donating, keep showing your support for the people in community. You're going to hear some poetry, some art, some magic happen from Milani a little bit later. So you should definitely donate. It's going to be really lit. But on deck, we have Summertime, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Mike Team.
Yeah.
Champ.
Woo.
The champ is
Scared of
here.
clowns too now.
I hear you're into conspiracy theories, that you've awoken to the truth of this world and you're never going back to sleep. Ooh, I got an idea. Let's share our favorite conspiracies. I'll start. Have you heard about the one where the people who... No, of course you have. Everyone knows that one. How about how in every cell phone there's a... Actually, it's not safe to talk about that one here. Ooh, I've got it. This one will really blow your mind. It's so obvious, but millions of people refuse to even acknowledge it. You can't walk down the street without seeing signs everywhere, on the bus, on the TV, in our schools, in our prisons, from our schools to our prisons. It's woven into the very fabric of our society. If you look close enough, you can even find evidence of it etched in the Constitution. This goes deeper than deep state, more occult than Illuminati, more inside job than 9/11. Are you ready? It's called systemic racism. I'm talking about the real shadow government, the offspring of white supremacy, the greatest conspiracy of all time. What? Why are you looking at me like that? I thought we were both on the same side here. Unless you can't see the connection here. Let me break this down for you. You say a group of elites atop society control everything. I say, have you taken a closer look at the first 43 presidents? You say COVID was released for population control. I say North Carolina eugenicists sterilized Black women for 40 years. You say 5G gives you cancer. I say what happened to all the healthy indigenous people who used to live here? You know what the problem is with you new conspiracy theorists? It's almost as if once the American dream started to rescind from you, that it must be part of a greater conspiracy. Question, why do you support QAnon but not Black Lives Matter? I mean, if you're so concerned with Democrats secretly drinking the blood of kidnapped children, then you must also be worried that Black girls go missing every year and nobody hears about it. Or explain how you believe the election was rigged, but not our education, immigration, or criminal justice system. If I didn't know better, I'd say you were being a little selective with your outrage. Then again, white supremacy has a tendency of sending you in the wrong direction. What could you expect from a baseless conspiracy theory, an ideology founded on a lie? Honestly, I'm surprised that you aren't outraged by this. You, defender against tyranny, you, champion of freedom, you who remove the wool from your eyes only to live in the wolf's mouth. It must be nice knowing that the people out to get you only work in the shadows. It must be comforting for what you fear to just be a theory. It must be easier to sleep when you can wake up when you want to.
Give it up for Mike.
Okay, okay, Sam.
Yes.
Let's go.
You win one eye whips and then suddenly.
What are those scores?
I'm still waiting on one judge for the last score. I don't want to put them on blast, but you know who you are. I DM'd you already.
Yeah, we're waiting on one last score
For the previous poet.
So I can't give y'all a score yet. But what I can give y'all is some information about what's going on for the rest of the month. We are, of course, in December. It is one of our shorter months for programming, I guess, if we're like gonna talk like a nonprofit, I guess. And yeah, so we have like one more week of events coming up. So we have the Berkeley Slam next week. And then next Saturday we have the Alchemy open mic. Sunday we're going to be having a live stream. And then Tuesday we're going to be having Oakland Slam. I feel like I fucked that up. LOL, nah. So we're gonna be having Oakland Slam next Tuesday. And then we're going to be having Berkeley Slam next Wednesday. And then we're going to be having the Alchemy open mic on Saturday and a live stream on Sunday. And then we're going to go on a break until the new year. So it's going to be a new year, new us. We're going to be prettier, better, everything that makes our mother shiver in the middle of the night and think, damn, where did I go wrong?
Who's featuring that week?
Who is featuring next week? Oh, I'm so excited for this. I'm excited for all of our features. I've been saying this all year because we've just like gotten really fucking good features this year. But our next feature is going to be Dante Clark. I'm really excited because I'm from Richmond, so this is hometown hero. I'm really excited for that. So we're going to be coming back next week with that. But yeah, you got that score?
Yeah, for Kai.
Yeah. All right, and Kai got a 26.7. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for the writing. Give it up for the poetry, but never the points. The points don't matter. You take the points away, you still got poetry. You take the poetry away, I don't know, you got a teacher's grade book. That's scary, right? That's scary. I work in academic support, so like grade books are scary for me because like when my students are failing, I'm failing, and it's COVID, so like we're all failing. It's great. So yeah, grade books, that's scary, and that has numbers in it. But yeah, someone said, speaking of teachers, they need a lesson on the GoFundMe. That's so cute. Yes, like I have said, we have a GoFundMe tonight for our feature, Milani. The link has been posted. We're encouraging, demanding, asking, persuading, strong arm robbing people into donating to this fund. It's really important that we support the community members that are creating art while also like living real life through real life shit. No one should be alone in that struggle. And while it's hard for one person to provide the financial need that's necessary to like pull yourself out some bullshit, I believe that a whole community does. And so if we as a community can rally around this community member, I think that's gonna make us all stronger. Because when we take care of our own, we don't have to rely on anybody else. So it's time that we rely on us and support the community members that need our support the most. You can find out more about how you can support by clicking the GoFundMe link in the comment section now. Now, I sound like a ratchet cat. Now, right now. But on deck, we have a Jordan. Wilson. But give maximum love to the next poet coming up to the mic. Give it up for Summertime.
Woo! Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. Okay. You cannot build without sand. Each grain, another foundation. Withstanding the heat of imprisoned suns, birthing art when handled with skill, holding light and allure alike. But when heated too quickly, or under too great a pressure, it cracks. You putty holes instead of rebuilding. You band-aid cracks you have no intention of repairing. You rescind color from crystal until it no longer shines. Like a bubble before it bursts, mere tendrils holding together a shrinking orb, so delicate a breath could break it. And yet you push. You crush the gossamer and make it beg. Beg for recognition it will never receive. Beg for scaffolding that was never there. Support? As if the word were hemlock personified, the carrot I crave, the nightshade that ends me. But it became clear. I should have seen through the glass you built. I would never win your approval. I would never billow with the words of your praise. I would never curve with hands as weightless as your lip service, hands that fail to hold me, hands that serve me cold my own confessions in a bowl too shallow to be called plate, spilling my confidences in rains upon the floor. No, you cannot build without sand, which is what I am becoming. Grains of rock reborn, rebuilding, renewed with each new wave from an ocean of my own choosing. I will reclaim my place among the shores, one grain at a time. Thank you.
Gang, 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 give it up for Summertime. Oh no.
Winter.
Yes. I love this background. This is so beautiful. I feel all Christmassy. I'm a December baby. My birthday is December 20th. So I love December. I love being a Sagittarius. We back on our bullshit for one more month. Y'all just gonna have to deal with it. If you don't want to deal with it, you can hibernate until the spring. But right now it is our time. And right now it is the holiday season and we have gotten all dolled up for the occasion. Yes. What was the score for Mike? Mike had a 29.
Oh shit.
Mike team got a 29.7. Gang. But give it up for the poetry and never the points. And shout out to the supporters of the GoFundMe. We are currently at $700 and I want to say $730 with $100 donation and $150 donation. Keep it going. The link is in the comment section. The more that we support our community, the less that we have to rely on other people to do the shit that we have the ability to do. We have the ability to hold each other. We are not outnumbered. We are out organized. It is time that we organize ourselves around the most vulnerable in our community, especially when they are reaching out for help. All it takes is for you to grab that hand. So I need you to grab that hand, put it in your pocket, pull out your wallet, and then put some money in that hand because it's really important that we financially support the people in our community that need the help. Lit. Someone said that they hate that I call winter Sagittarius season. Well, you could take it up with me in spring. Like I said, if you can always hibernate, especially because it's COVID. So, you know, hibernating might be the best thing for you to do safety-wise. Lit. So on deck, we have Mecca Miles, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Jordan Wilson.
My body has been a burning house for as long as I can remember. Trauma and chronic illness make beautiful explosions. I am caught between the wildfire survivorhood has made me and the flames of cis men. When my pulse is unsteady, lips suffocation blue. Spectators bring cameras and miracle cures. First responders come when I do not call. They bring their beers and their loudest voices. When I say what I need, they throw dynamite between my teeth, ask why my mouth was open if not to consent. Call my dry walls just waiting to spark. Swear I begged for demolition. Every few days, my skin sets itself on fire, raw and flaming in the coldest water. My compromised immune system, the only kindling needed. Lyme disease gaslights from the inside, turns my brain against me, feeds on panic until every fabric, every surface burns. Masculinity only wants me when wounded, nowhere to run except into his arms. When I assert my needs, in a bar, at a slam, cis men insist they know better. I ask for a glass of water and the bartender gives me wine. Nice boy says I send wrong signals. I run and he puts himself in my contacts as 911, shoves me into his jacket. His pockets are full of matches, his collection of flammable things. I don't want to be one of them. Most days, my veins are dammed. Blood pools in my feet, swells ankles from standing just minutes. When I take meds in public, cis men sidle up to me, pour pickup lines down my throat. How badly they want me dressed in ash. Masculinity promises to extinguish every light I've ever known, ensure I never ignite again, depend on him for warmth. And each time the danger passes, someone who wasn't there tells me I dreamed the coffin, parasitic like the ticks that gave me this disease. There is nothing natural about this smoke. They call it healing, I call it arson. When I keep my skeleton, a reminder something worthy once stood here, cis men rescind my existence, dissipate all the bones I once was, every tree that ever built me. Be careful what you wish for. My voice is the wildest fires, resurrection of 1,000 forests. My lungs breathe winds that begin disaster stories, ones that do not bow to men unworthy of my kneel. Men have always called me hazard. Terrified, this wildfire knows their name. When I am done with them, there will be nothing left.
Gang, and I cannot stress this enough. Gang, give it up for the poet. Oh,
let's go, poet.
yes. I am back with my co-host Coco. Say hello to the camera, Coco. Stop trying to lick me in the face. We don't do that shit. I'm sorry. I don't know. You're not my dog, but you know, when you're with me, you're a black dog. We don't lick people in the face like that. Oh, and another $50 donation to the GoFundMe. That is lit. Thank you so much for being so supportive. Like, it's really, Coco's done. She done. But thank you so much for being so supportive. It's really, it really warmed in my heart that y'all are really like donating. If Coco, I'll try to get Coco to do a trick if we hit $1,000 tonight. That's what I'll do. I'll try to get her to do a trick. She ain't my dog. She don't listen to nobody anyway. So we'll figure it out. But you know, we'll try it. We'll really try it. Lit. For reference, Summertime got a 26.3. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. It is all about the poetry and not the points. Speaking of poetry, but wait, before we get into it, this comment section is blowing up on some Aries season type shit. Y'all had your chance in March. You had your chance. Y'all blew it. You caused another spike. Now in my season, they told us to sit our asses down and we finna do it and we finna turn up in the house. Our season is Sagittarius season can never be canceled because even if we can't go outside, we will turn up inside in our own houses by ourselves because we don't need nobody to turn up for our birthday. It's our birthday. We will celebrate by ourselves if need be. Because why? Because we're just built different. But on deck, we have symbolic. But give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Mecca Miles.
Okay, can everyone hear me all right? Loud and clear?
Yep, we can hear you.
All right, content warning for rape. I wish I could count the number of times I had sex when I didn't want to. I mean, at least then the number would be small enough to count. And I don't call most of what happened to me rape. I don't know whether it's because it wasn't or because society has taught me that if I do not scream no from the top of my lungs that I must have wanted it. I am unsure. But I do know that I haven't always known how to say no, how to rescind the consent I didn't give in the first place up until about 8 months ago. My friends had to remind me that no was an option that I wouldn't be punished for taking. But we all know that's a lie. Little girls are taught to be polite, to close their legs, travel in groups, don't leave your drink unattended, shit, don't drink too much, don't go to their room, don't wear tight clothes, don't laugh, don't smile. Wait, you look so much better when you smile. Wait, you look so much better when you smiled. I was told that I hated myself because I decided to wear baggy clothes to school. And in the same breath, my mother said that I seduced my rapist by doing the complete opposite. And I didn't call what happened to me rape for a long time, not because it wasn't, but because I didn't know that that word was an option when I had not said no. When all I did was be freshly 12 years old, crying while holding my teddy bear, I was told that it was my fault, that my mother would hate me. And lo and behold, he was right. We label girls fast before we ever label men. Pedophiles tell women that they are meat for consumption and it's their job to be better prey instead of making it dangerous to be the predator. So I propose some changes. I propose mandatory castration. I propose public shaming followed by a public beating. I propose we use technology to allow rapists to feel what their victim was feeling and then tar and feather them for good measure. But also, I propose we buy little boys' doll houses, let them have toy kitchens, teach them that there is more to life than knives and conquering. Let them nurture baby dolls so they learn to care for something other than their ego and then let them cry. Let them feel. I was told that rape is almost never about sex and always about control. So let's teach them that the greatest form of it is to stop when everything in them is saying go, and that if the answer is not an enthusiastic yes, it is clearly a no.
Gang, 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 gang. Give it up for the poet. Yes. Yes. All right, all right. Can I get the
Score for the praise vote?
Yeah, Jordan.
Got a 28.5.
All right, lit. Jordan got a 28.5. Fuck the scores. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet and the poetry. Damn. What more can I say? Like, these poems are speaking for themselves. Lit. And also, like, for those of y'all at home, and for y'all in the Zoom if you got it. Once again, we are supporting the GoFundMe of our feature. She's trying to get out of a shitty situation and needs community support. One person may not have it, but a whole community does. I know we reach people all over the world. So just because you're not here doesn't mean you can't make a difference here. So we're gonna post that GoFundMe once again in the chat. Do what you can to donate. We are sitting pretty at $830 for at the GoFundMe. We might hit $1,000 tonight, which means I'm gonna have to figure out how to get Coco to do anything for me because she doesn't fucking listen. So I'm actually really excited because this might be a shit show. But lit. Did I announce the previous? Yep, lit. So on deck, we have our feature, Milani. I'm so excited. But give maximum love to our last poet of the first round. Give it up for Symbolic.
What's good, y'all? Good, y'all. Y'all can hear me good? I'm valid?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Trigger warning. Our friendship is this foundation, a house in perspective. Different color walls in rotation to match the mood. Yet the pressure became innovative, and now I'm searching for my friend's happy location, hoping it was just a phase and that she was on vacation. Wait. When I say that out loud, it's very ignorant to say, and I think about all your consumptions to reach a higher cloud. Now I'm knocking, looking from the window, pleading her to let me in. Suddenly she feels a draft, she closes the window. With me outside hoping her fears will pass, but her darkest past makes the pain last. See, the scariest thing to her is living, and she succumbing to those fears. And if you need a target to release the pain, then hit me with a spear so that your pain will be spared. But that's selfish too. See, all I do is care, and I ask you to seek help, not because you're crazy, but because that man violates your holy sanctuary and has altered your sanity. You treat yourself less than satisfactory. I see you struggle, and you need more than motivational words. I don't understand how much he impacted you, but I do understand how it's affected you. How is it you went from the girl that I know about to a stranger who was violated to the point that your depression is your biggest fear? I see you from the outside in the living room, but you're living dead. I hate that you want to give up. I just like that you threaten to kill yourself and that you disappear to reappear like a magic trick, when the only trick is you thinking that's okay. I hate how he left a stain on you mentally, how he entered you inappropriately when you was already struggling. He added to your painful resume. He thought it was okay to penetrate, and I hate that I have to give myself that visual to understand how you abducted your character as an individual to the point that you view yourself more than less than the minimum. You hate to be alone but scared to be surrounded as you tuck all this away. How can you carry this mental weight until you break? I'm stuck watching you ready to die with all this pain inside, consuming your self-destruction with intoxication. I'm on the outside as I see you accept a new God and do you wrong. Then you move on to the next from the outside looking in. I thought you was rescinding your self-respect, ignoring the disrespect. It seems like they only want temporary visits, and it hurts that you accepted it. It made me so livid. So I learned it makes you feel power because that one guy made you feel less. He wrote his name into your depression. He stole from your temple to nourish his own fruits at the expense of your labor. And you put up with that. Took advantage of you sleeping, which held shackles to your mental later. How could he even harvest a thought? It's not lust. He's a fucking menace. I wish I knew him and that I own a shotgun, 2 shells to his chest, but that's not enough. I want to exterminate that pest. He stole your happiness in exchange for lust. I'm so angry. I'm sorry that I'm angry. Angry that you're ready to give up. I'm angry that I struggle to see why you want to, not understanding fully what he took from you. And the last thing I ever wanted to do was argue. I just wanted you to know he does it on your body. And as you get help, I'll stay on the outside cheering because seeing you like this is overbearing. Our friendship was once happiness. Now I just don't know.
Gang, gang. Give it up for the poet. Yes. Gang, gang. For reference, Mecca got a 29.1. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. We don't fuck with points in here. Nah. Every time I see the points, I'm gonna catch that 29.2 outside at the end of this show. I'm gonna catch that 1.5 outside after the show. Like all points get jumped up in here, but poems, Poems get protection. Don't you fuck with these poems on here. Like, you don't know. These poems be coming from the heart and the soul of these poets. And it's been like, I can say this now because it's the, the writing tonight at, wow. The second round is going to be a monster. But before we get into our second round, we have this feature.
Reggie, wait, Reggie, 1 minute. I have to restart the Instagram stream because 60-minute time limit. So.
Oh, we gotta restart the Instagram stream.
Yeah.
So everybody who's not on Instagram, I want y'all to know something. Instagram is for suckers. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I stay on Instagram. I'm pretty, so I stay on Instagram. Instagram is an amazing tool for marketing and usage. Please don't sue me.
Don't worry, we're not live there yet, but
yeah, we are
there
waiting.
are better platforms for them to watch the stream. Just saying.
Yeah, there are better platforms for you to watch the stream. We are doing Instagram because we have a lot of people who want to watch on Instagram. And we want to be as accessible as possible because our job is to put live art into your living room no matter where you are. So even if that's funky ass Instagram, we will go to Instagram to deliver you live poetry.
We're back on Instagram.
It is. We're live?
Yep, we're live on Instagram again.
Hey, Instagram part 2. Yes. I, as a twin, love things that are singular because I hate being in twos. I love my twin. I hate being a dual package. We are two individuals and we would like to remain as such. But part 2, well, I guess not part 2, but like part 2 of the stream for y'all. Welcome back. We were just about to get into our feature, who I'm really excited to announce. Milani Pelley. Oh my God. Milani is like one of my favorite people I've ever met. I met Milani at work and then found out she was a poet and then found out like she had like been hella involved in one of the slams that I was helping to run. And it was just like amazing to like learn more about her and her art. But I'm gonna read you this bio that she sent us because I like reading people's bios because it's a look on how they like to present themselves. So Milani Pelley is a forever changing being, probably not initially from this earth. Milani was born, raised, and gave birth in Berkeley, California. She is an advocate of children, families, art, spirituality, and freedom for all people. Milani believes in matriarchy and divine love. Milani is an educator, healer, facilitator of self-expression. Milani has performed at the Opera House in San Francisco and for activists i.am, Saul Williams, Jesse Jackson, and Angela Davis. In 2010, Milani solely represented Oakland in the Woman of the World Poetry Slam. Milani was also a part of Team Oakland in 2010, placing top 4 in group piece finals, and was a member of Team Oakland 2011, ranking top 10 in the nation. To hear, read, and speak Milani's words is truly an unforgettable experience. I can vouch for that. Milani is one of my favorite people. I always love her energy that she brings into a room, whether it's chill, whether it's hype. She is who she needs to be, and I love that about her. So without further ado, I want y'all to give maximum love for our feature tonight, Milani.
Oh my God.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so happy to be here. Reggie is also one of my favorite people in this world as well. I'm just going to get straight into it. I'm going to share 7. First, everyone who have contributed, thank you so much. And just to let you know, you will be appreciated. Everyone who contributes get a gift. There's different tiers on the different amount, but everybody is getting something. So if you contribute to me, of course, I want to show my love and appreciation to you as well. So the first poem that I'm gonna do is from my first, from a chat book called Goddess Hype. And it's a chat book about different goddesses. And this poem is called Daughter of Lilith, and it is from a like Jewish ancient Hebrew oral tradition. I ain't never been no daughter of Eve. I ain't never came from no man's rib neither. I am not an afterthought for creation. Look up. If you're lucky, you'll catch me cosmos soaring. I'm so magically extraordinary. I coexist with beginning and eternity. I'm creatress. I am not blasphemous. I am not lost. I do not need a Bible to save me. I know where I come from. I come from Lilith, the first human female. Before the patriarchal tale, the submission, the serpent, the forbidden fruit, the fall of man because of woman, God created Adam and Lilith from the same earth, the same dirt. Simultaneously, the first human male and female existed as equals. Lilith knew this. And when Adam tried to force himself on top of her to assert his dominance, Lilith ran away and resisted because women before patriarchy possessed providence and had no tolerance for actions that jeopardize gender equality. I said the women before the patriarchy possessed providence and had no tolerance for actions that jeopardize gender equality. Lilith, a goddess of matriarchy, had no sympathy when God sent angels begging her to return to Adam. I guess that's why I ain't never been no daughter of Eve. I never could last that long and tears cried over men who disrespected me. I am neither moved nor inspired at the thought of my free will and happiness being controlled by anyone. My love is not defined by a man's love. I am love. Do you hear my heart beating? If you can, listen a little more carefully. That is the sound of a creatress. I am the daughter of Lilith. So the next poem that I'm gonna do, it's actually gonna be in an up and coming book that I'm writing. And also it's going to be published in an anthology that I did with several amazing women that is coming up and you'll see soon. But this is called Stress and Silence. I'm so stressed. I bleed. A week before my period. 2 weeks before my period. My silence gets deposited in my womb. Too heavy for a numerous cycle. Too heavy for a single human being. I'm a small woman. Always mistaken for a giant. I collapse ugly and delicate. Quickly gather my pieces before anyone sees. If anyone sees the spectacle of a crisis, my being a catastrophe and coping might get mistaken as crazy. I cripple at the thought of being analyzed like archaeology. I'd rather smile in discrepancy, swallow everything that's hard for me, pretend I'm living blissfully. Until anxiety tries to kill me, I'm drowning in trauma, a chest with no breasts, a frozen mind, so heavy, this little frame of mine. A giant of stress deposited in my womb. I'm bleeding too early, within months consecutively. My silence consumed me, too heavy, too heavy. The next poem is called Greatness. It is also in the up and coming book that I'm writing. Be on the lookout. It's going to be amazing. I'm just giving you guys like a glimpse, a sneak peek. This is called Greatness. I've earned the right to claim what I deserve. I do not need confirmation to affirm my blessings that rightfully await me. I understand hard work. I have endured, struggled, and triumphed when broken and fallen and left alone. I have flown with wounds and found my wings. I have grown my crown from seeds. My goblet has not always been full, but it has always overflowed in virtue. I've paid my dues. Everything I believe I deserve is true. I will gracefully claim all that is waiting for me to receive. So the next poem that I'm going to write is really about motherhood. People have asked like, oh, Milani, like, why'd you stop writing? I never stopped writing. What was kind of difficult was being like a mother and being an artist. I didn't really understand how to do that. But I never stopped writing. Like, I have a library. What you're seeing now is just like a small portion. It's like a paragraph, like in a library of books. So I have so much content. Actually, if you want to book me, if you want to feature me, you can email me at queenast, which is queenaset@gmail.com. Once again, queenast@gmail.com. I have so much content. Also, if you want to purchase a chapbook, you can email me there. And then I can send you my PayPal, Venmo, like all of that information as well. But this is called The Greatest Challenge, and it talks about co-parenting. Yes, I'm a survivor of a domestic violence situation, and still it's like really hard to co-parent. Even though we're not together and I'm away, it's still very, very difficult to co-parent. So this is called The Greatest Challenge. Sometimes my chest burns scorching flames. I want to extinguish the remains of what made me a mother. Destroy the ruins that run me breathless and anxious. Bury the tainted monuments that connects me to the face of a narcissist. I want to break the cycle of having faith in insanity. Communication should not be a wildfire. I want to free myself of feeling like I'm burning in my living body every time I try to speak. It is not safe to believe kindness cures cruelty. I need to singe the forgiveness I give so freely and incinerate the sensibility right out of me. Co-parenting should not be an atrocity. Custody should not be a mechanism of control. My son should not be used as a tool to entertain abuse. What use is creation if the creators conflict? How quick can controversy mold into DNA? Does it stunt growth in any way? I shake thinking of my son's fate, being built in a past full of his parents' trauma. I want to smolder being a mama made with a man made from inferno. The privilege of a child I bestowed upon someone so unworthy. What glory is being a mommy when breathing feels like gasping smoke and flames when daddy's present? Sometimes I want to hide in myself, pretend I'm not connected, remove myself completely, run away from parenting so I won't burn in this insanity anymore. But freedom is cremation without my son. He is a prism reflecting my greatest creation. My son needs me to survive the furnace of his dad, so he may be radiant and not fulminate in a fate without me. The next poem, it is in my chapbook, which is also, all the chapbooks I have, $5. Digital copies can be purchased. This is in Fuego Tranquila. It's called Survivor. I needed to take a sip of water. Drink water in the pandemic. I'm also a comedian. Every day, how you living? Do you say something kind? Or are you cruel? Are you mean? Do you forget your blessings? Where does your heart lie? In the city. A survivor is sure something fine, the closest thing to the physical form of a miracle. A survivor's sorrow lays face like lilies, medals of memory. A survivor sure is something pretty, struggle shining in gold. Just about everyone wants to taste the survivor's strength, for no ordinary person can imitate the strut and stance of a survivor's grace. You see, a survivor has seen the footprints of God walking next to them. A survivor has tasted determination and depression together tangled in a swirl of sweet and sour. A survivor has sat at the clouds tower, y'all, and heard the wind whisper life's oracle in meeting. A survivor is sure something holy. No ordinary person could speak like a survivor, for divinity has dived like waves and washed a survivor's speech and tone pure. It sounds juicy like plums in music, a mystic sound when a survivor speaks and allows what they know about overcoming to flow. For survivor words sparkles the body, full of tar and soot, clean and whole again. Survivor words are like antidotes, ancient healing hands. Survivor syllables massage the tension in the dreary air and drives the wound of fear into a scab and resurrects hope and growth. When a survivor speaks and shares their story, it can be someone's saving prayer. So I encourage everyone, I know we're in a pandemic, but everyone to please speak and share, because we all have survived. And you see, that is the miracle. The next poem I'm going to do is a personification poem. In the workshop I did earlier, we got real deep. I really appreciate everyone that came out. It was really beautiful. I love personification poems because, like, you know, you really get to look at things through another perspective. This is from my chapbook, which also can be purchased, $5 digitally, 2 for $12. And it's called The Voice of the Gun. It's from my chapbook. It's in the chapbook Fuego Peligroso. White hands grope my steel frame greedily. In the name of colonization, carry me like pride on shoulder, waving American flag, bearing memory of my body as bully, brutalizing Black and brown skin territory bloody. Yet my Black body gets glorified in media when white hands strike blood-stained poses, clenching me in the name of capitalism. Murder becomes heroic. Tragic how brown fingers and Black fingers tracing my still body for security, desiring to grasp liberation, get labeled as thug, terrorist, killer, disregarding the conquest and the white priest and the slavery and the internment camps and the stealing of land and the ransacking of spirituality and the raping of brown and Black women and the selling of our Black and brown children, my babies, coated in bullet, trickle low-income neighborhoods like lullabies in the night, tapping Section 8 windows like the Grim Reaper, Uncle Sam, a death note, wishing to kiss brown and Black children goodnight. So of course, Black and brown's hand seek the slender of my trigger for safety. The effects of colonialism by white hands cut hate into my body of a gun. I really appreciate you guys for coming on this journey with me. I'm at my last poem of the night. I'm gonna keep it at 7, but if you wanna book me, if you want me to come feature, I do workshops. I also can edit your work. I can push you to be who you are because I'm an Aries. I know Reggie, I love you, but I know there was some talk about like it not being Aries season, but it is because I'm here. So it's Aries season, and I brought the springtime with me, as it can be seen.
I'll allow it for you, but the other Aries in the group, mainly Prophet, gotta pipe down.
Thank you so much. But the last poem I'm going to share, it is also in my up and coming book that I'm writing. It's also going to be released in an anthology with some amazing women that is coming out. It's called Mama's Prayer. And like, this was written, it's really hard to have like a Black boy in America. And especially, you know, he has visitation with his dad. So like, sometimes I just know nothing. And the only thing I have is my prayer and like the power of prayer. And it like really what triggered this is like the fact that, the whole George Floyd, and he called out for his mama. So then I wrote this. It's called Mama's Prayer. While being lynched by a cop with the cop's knee on his neck, George Floyd called for his mama. There is nothing in the world that can protect a Black son like his mama. It is revolutionary for the Black mother to remain alive. We pray our Black sons are protected by a divine shield to block all that may try to kill, devalue, and tarnish the bodies, souls, and minds of our children. We light candles, burn sage, call upon our ancestors, offer tears to cleanse our Black sons every step. May they walk the path they were destined to thrive in. May they never question their greatness because of their skin. We affirm our Black children's beauty, kiss our Black sons long and hard, hoping a mother's love can anoint a force field to conserve their innocence. May our Black sons return home alive and not in caskets. May we kiss them again while they still breathe. How delicate it is to be a child, both Black and boy in America, where Black is cinnamon to villain. We pray our Black boys are allowed to be children without repercussions. May our Black sons' gift be nourished into powers to change the world, untainted by America's racist ideologies. We meditate, light incense, burn sweet grass to heighten our vibrations, visualizing our prayers manifesting into reality, keeping our Black children safe. We burn bay leaves and cedar to cleanse and carry away white America's racist ancestral trauma. May our Black sons' dignity remain preserved. We should not have to pray for our Black children's humanity. Compassion and kindness are birthrights our babies deserve. Our Black sons are beautiful and brilliant and worthy of living. This is not our generational our curse to claim. Until we are seen as human, every breath of a Black mother will remain a prayer. Whew. Thank you. I didn't mean to tear up on y'all, but that poem is like really dear to me. Joyce Lee, Joyce Lee could be credited for pushed me there. She really pushed me there. Like we did a process there. This is coming out in an anthology that she put together. It's gonna be really amazing, but that poem is very dear to me. My son is everything to me. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. Just so you can know, you gotta bear with, I had it. Okay, cool. Share screen. Oh, can you guys make it so I can share the screen? Yes, no, maybe so. But anyways, the reason why I want to share my screen with you is so you can get my Venmo, which is at Milani.
You can share the screen now.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Boom. Yes. So here are the poems that I read. Thank you for taking the journey with me. In here you can see each chapbook where where the poem I read is. Some of them, as I said, they're coming out, but as I said tonight, I'm doing a 2 for 12. All of these can be received by Venmoing me, Cash Apping me, or PayPaling me. Just message your email in with the book title, and I'll be able to send it to you. It's amazing. Like I said, this is only a portion. Also, if you would like to book me for features, for writing workshops, I love it. As you can see, like I take you on a whole journey, and I'm so grateful that you guys came here tonight to share that journey with me. I'm very grateful. Thank you, Reggie. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Berkeley Slam. Thank
you. And I have good news. The GoFundMe is currently sitting at $955. So, yeah, let's see if we can get that $1,000, and I'll try to get Coco to do a trick.
I'll do it.
We'll see. No, I want to do it because I made the promise. You know, if you do it, it's easy. You speak Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. The dog speaks Spanish. We'll figure this out. We will figure this out. You know, Black people, we make a way out of no way. That's all we ever did was make a way out of no way. But yes, keep donating to that GoFundMe. It's not about the dog doing tricks. It's about supporting community members. You have seen the message, the beauty, the power, the awesomeness that is Milani. I don't think I need to hype her up anymore. I think all you need to do is be directed to where to send your money, which is, she gave y'all her Venmo, but we also have the GoFundMe page for more direct and specific support. So definitely donate. We have a fundraising goal to get that GoFundMe to $1,000 by the end of the night. So I really want to make sure we keep that up, lit. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, I just had to confirm the sacrifice real quick. Colin, are you sacrificing?
You know, I didn't agree to it, but somehow I was prepared for it anyway.
Lit. All right. So we have our sacrifice, and our order is as such. So it's just we took the top 5 poets, except there was a tie. So we took the top 6 poets. And they will be reading in reverse order of appearance. So this has nothing to do with your scores. But this is the order. We got Mecca Miles, then we have Jordan Wilson, then we have Mike Ting, then we have Kai, then we have My Lord, and then we have Anita D. Okay. Lit. We love ghetto ass housing. I'm sorry you had to bear witness to this sensitive ass fire alarm. There's not even no motherfucking smoke in here. I swear to God, we could actually be burning up in this motherfucker and it probably wouldn't go off. But yes, damn, I don't even know where I was at. Yeah, we have the list of poets. We got Mecca Miles, Jordan Wilson, Mike Ting, Kai, My Lord, and Anita D. Woo, lit. It's gonna be a lit ass second round, but before we get into the second round, we need another sacrifice, something to, you know, warm, to butter the judges up for some more poetry. So I need y'all to say, spill the blood.
Spill the blood.
And give it up for your sacrificial poet. He may look like me, but he is not me. Give it up for Colin.
Woo!
Woo!
Can you hear me?
Green
hear you.
beans.
Yeah.
I wish that gentrification worked under the rules, regulations, and procedures of the hood. Imagine for every motherfucker screaming, "Oh my gosh, I just got here from Boston!" There was a nigga to say, "I don't give a fuck where you from. You can still run these hands." Imagine a hipster in the hood. No, the real hood, where niggas dog fight at 10 a.m. on a Sunday. Imagine this motherfucker walking home on a Friday night. You know, they say that hood niggas can smell a mark from a mile away and his body is still rank with the smell of IPAs and expensive hair gel. I bet he thinks he holds the world in his hands. At least until he gets robbed. Handmade leather shoes thrown upon our telephone wire to remind you that this is still our neighborhood. Here, we have to rock our kids to sleep to the sounds of bullets and gunfire, and your dumb ass wanna walk your dog at 2 a.m. Quick question. Do you wanna die, Becky? Want your blood spilt on the very same streets as those niggas, my niggas? How can you walk so carelessly through a graveyard like you just wanna step on a dead body, take it home and tell your family you're just cleaning up the neighborhood? Sometimes I wish my city was just as dangerous as every Black movie in the 90s makes it out to be. And maybe my block would still look like me. My home look less like a ghost. What does home look like when you're redlined out the same communities you were redlined into in the first place? I mean, my childhood house is now in a neighborhood that's too rich for Black people to live there. So yes, I wish it was still dirty, still grimy, still have blood caked to the sidewalks. I wish my city still had flesh caught between its teeth, venom dripping from a snarling mouth as a message, a reminder, hell, a warning. Stay the fuck out.
Gang, and I cannot stress this enough, gang. All right, judges, please send your scores to Tino. Yes, that was your sacrificial poet, Colin. Yeah, so we'll get those scores to you shortly. Cool, now is the yeah, we've entered the second round. Now is the money round. If you didn't know, poets have not been just performing for fame. God fucking damn it.
Donate to the GoFundMe. We're at 9:55. We're trying to, you know, you want Coco to do a trick, so $5.
Yes. Donate to the GoFundMe. Goddamn. But yeah, poets have not been yeah, the poetry's been too fire tonight. It's setting off my fire alarm, like, for real though. But the poets are not just competing for fame or for glory or even for the infamous clout. They are competing for cold, soft, because it's digital, American, I hope, cash. Yes, we have prizes, even though we're a free event. We believe in supporting our artists in whatever way we can. So we give a prize to first, second, and third place. And we're going to figure that out in a moment, because on deck, we have Jordan Wilson. But give maximum love to the first poet of the second round. Give it up for Mecca Miles.
Okay, everyone hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
I used to love catching butterflies. There was something magical about being able to cup freedom and metamorphosis in the palm of my hand. I didn't understand the irony then, that the thing I loved most about this creature was the very thing that I took away time and time again. The last time that I caught a butterfly, I accidentally broke its wing. It panicked when I picked it up, a piece of it ripped. Horrified, I put it down as gently as I could and watched as it struggled to take flight, watched as it failed over and over again to take hold of the freedom it had already been accustomed to, watched as it stopped fluttering. The realization that it would never again be the same finally setting in, and as a bird flew overhead, I looked at this mangled insect and wondered if it knew it would die here today, that mine was the face of its murderer. I wondered if it was intelligent enough to blame my curious, selfish hands for its demise, or if it would blame its own stupid, frantic flaps. And in that moment, I decided I would never catch another butterfly. I was 7. 6 years later, I would stare at freedom through the gaps of my mother's cupped hands and wonder if I would live long enough to become something more. If her clumsy, selfish grasp had broken me beyond repair. You see, freedom was this abstract concept that she would make my brother and I laugh at. And when I pick up the phone, after she calls me for the 5th time, I wonder if she chuckles. If she says to herself, look at this mangled insect still trying to fly with triumph in her eyes. I often ask if after all this time, I am still broken. If I ever even had a chance to emerge from my cocoon, or if I am still the liquid remains of my trauma hanging from the branch of her abuse. And I know she calls this love. She doesn't realize that she quantifies loyalty by how easily her children abandon themselves to her clumsy hands. I think this must be why she hates me. She sees too much fight or too much flight in these broken wings. Perhaps the fact that I am still here is proof of my emergence. Proof that despite all the odds, I kept on saying I will not die on the ground here today, and maybe I will always be a little broken, but I know better than to blame my desire to fight back. And maybe the metamorphosis is not what happened when we finally break free of our cocoon, but rather it's the feeling of the sun during that first flight after you believed you were too broken to ever touch the sky.
Gang.
Woo!
Yes. Give it up for Mecca Miles. Yes. Still waiting on those scores for our sacrifice. Where our sacrifice got a 28.8. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet and not the points. Gang, 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 gang. Speaking of giving, we still want to encourage you to donate to the GoFundMe. It takes a lot, financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically, to move yourself out of an unhealthy situation. And that burden shouldn't just be on one person. It takes a community to help out. And I believe that our community has the ability to push this campaign past $1,000. We're currently sitting at $955. And I think that we can get the $45 necessary to hit our $1,000 goal for the night. I think it's possible. I believe in us as a community. I believe that we truly believe that we support Black women, that we support survivors, that we support the people in the community that need it the most. I believe that those are the values that we built this community on. I believe that's why you're sitting here watching, because you believe that and I believe that, and that makes both of us pretty dope. So now it's the time to put our money where our mouths are. and make those donations now. Lit. So on deck, we have, oh, I'm looking at the wrong damn thing. On deck, we have Mike T, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up to the virtual stage. Give it up for Jordan Wilson.
Woo! 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 When I punched the boy, he pulls down skirts in communion class. The priest says my behavior was inappropriate. Who finds home in a religion that only wants you when silent, when you're raised both Catholic and Jewish, but cannot find God in either? The priest says, don't fight back. So I don't. When I am 6 and it's my skirt being pulled down in my bathroom by the first boy I ever loved, who poisons my sexuality with abuse long before I would have claimed it for myself, I am afraid to fight back. When I turn to Judaism for a voice, there is no space for mine. Every high holiday, I mourn the Hebrew I never learned. Tongue heavy, I pretend to know which Torah page to turn. Sitting lower in my seat each time my sisters have to help me, shamed of not knowing, jealous of their bat mitzvahs, those rites of belonging. Meanwhile, the Catholics say, eating the flesh of Christ will erase your sins of the week. Surviving abuse that will last 3 more years, I ask if God is so all-powerful, why he can't just will the bad away. Nobody found it innocent. Parents misplaced birthday invitations, afraid of children who ask hard questions. Nobody heard the fear in my words. The way abuse devoured my body had left more sins than a wafer could heal. Night terrors left me searching for the jaws of trauma, the monster who read me bedtime stories, who loved me like he was hungry, who chose not to hear this meal cry, left me with an empathy for the eaten. The cantor sings, Olam Yesed Yibana. We'll build this world with love. Like the gullible child I am, I believe it. I am 8 at Yom Kippur, wanting forgiveness for being abused, wanting my ancestors to teach me to endure pain. The rabbi story tells about the ancient Israelite homeland. Swears that milk and honey run in our veins, but the Jewish community calls me unclean for talking about occupation, for saying only blood runs in veins, and they have always told me that mine is not Jewish enough to count. Neither religion calls me lover, calls me daughter, calls me worthy. Christianity baptizes me Lilith. Loud girls sound like sinners. When I tattoo my values of Tikkun Olam, Hebrew to repair the world with the Torah taught me. Mainstream Judaism calls my body the desecration this abused 6-year-old always believed it was. I will always be too much Christ killer to wear a cross, too much woman for a religion that wants my mouth to open and close on cue. I don't want home in a place that strangles its opposition and names it baptism, calls it mikveh. The cross and the Star of David have left blue lips from the river Jordan to the Atlantic. I cannot choose home besides the holy waters that birthed my history, that have always silenced voices like mine. I am not their ghost to drown.
Gang, 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 gang. Yes. Oh my goodness. Another poet, and give it up for the poet. Yes. Lit. And Mecca got a 28.4. Give it up for the poet and not the points. We are not here for points. We are here for art. We are here for performance. We are here for drama. We are here for writing. We are not here for points. The points, never. They could never serve as much as the art does. So thank you for indulging me in my wacky antics as I facilitate this. So on deck, we have Kai, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up in the second round. Give it up for Mike T.
White and Blue, a love story. White had always known there was something special about Blue. Ever since White was a child, Blue had been there, walking White home from school, ensuring none of the other colors were mean to White. Blue made White feel safe, felt home wherever. White could be itself around Blue, never had to explain to Blue. Blue didn't care about White's past because White's past was Blue's future, and Blue loved White too. How could Blue not? They had everything in common. Their smiles would empty neighborhoods. Their laughter would fill Blue's ribcage with colors. White had never known a relationship like this. No hiding with Blue. No political correctness with Blue. Blue didn't believe in correctness, just corrections. White loved Blue's ambition. Blue basked in White's unwavering support. It was a match made in history for decades. White and Blue lived happily together. Only a fool would think Blue would ever turn away from White. Then suddenly, Blue started looking different, started showing up in black, and White didn't like that. White demanded Blue explain. White liked Blue the way Blue was, like a clouded sky, a blue White could see itself in. Blue smiled, cupped White's anxious face, promised that change would not change Blue, and White believed because though Blue was a liar, Blue never lied to White. White saw change too, felt pressure to leave Blue, to let Blue protect all colors, for Blue and White to just be friends, but Blue and White could never just be friends. White needed Blue. White was nothing without Blue. Blue completed White, so White began to plot. White dreamed of ways to keep Blue and White together. White wrote love letters, called them legislation, sent hidden messages through black codes that only Blue would understand, but White wasn't satisfied. White grew threatened, saw black thriving in Tulsa and Durham, in Richmond and Birmingham, so White crafted a new plan, introduced new colors, foreign this time, brought China White and black tar into Black's home, made Blue put black away for little bags of green. White was high now, so high looking down on what Blue and White had accomplished together. White's face, a job well done. Blue's smile, a row of occupied jail cells. But Blue had something bigger planned, got down on one knee, revealed the biggest rock White had ever seen, and White gasped, screamed yes, and together, hand in hand, White and Blue shattered the rock into a million shards, laying on every corner in Black's neighborhood. White and Blue knew this was the beginning of the rest of their lives. Now Blue always had a reason to come home to White, and soon Blue's ribcage was bursting with colors. Soon Blue's prisons, all shades of black and brown, a spectrum by design, a palette palatable for White, a love story so inconceivable, unimaginable. To this day, their children refuse to believe it.
Gang, motherfucking gang.
Wow.
Hey.
Okay, champ.
Give it up. Poet. Yes. Second round, folks. Second round, the money round. Let me look at this. Let's see, Jordan got a 27.7. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet and not the points. So, like I said, y'all are going to want to keep motherfucking donating to this GoFundMe. I believe
40 away. It's 40 away from the trick.
We're 40 away. We're 40 away. Somebody donate $45. We should be able to reach this goal. It's really important. Oh, look, we're at 960. We can do this. We're 40 away. We can do this. I totally believe that we can. Not even believe that we can. I know that we are. Because we are a community that supports each other. We are a community that makes sure that if one part of our community is hurting, then the entire community has a problem. And we all mobilize to the best of our ability to help out the parts of the community that are hurting. And that includes donating money to GoFundMes of people who need support. It is extremely hard to pick yourself out of a shitty situation during the holidays with no support. So the more support that you give, the better that the more impact it's going to have. That's all I can say. You know, the more money you give, the more it's going to help out. The more it helps out, the healthier our community is. So we can't rest now that we are kind of comfortable with this 960. We gotta push on until we get exactly what we need for our community members. So the GoFundMe is in the chat. Click that link. Donate, 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 donate at, donate at, donate at, donate at. But seriously, really donate. It's really important. Like, extremely important. More important than any of the organizations that you donated to for Giving Tuesday. Don't even play with me. Individuals, the people that, like, I work in the nonprofit industrial complex. 95% of your money that you give to these nonprofits are never going to see an individual and impact their life. When you donate directly to people who are experiencing crises, you have a more direct impact than donating to any nonprofit. I work for a nonprofit. I'm on the board of directors for a nonprofit. Rich Oak Events is a nonprofit. You have a bigger impact when you decide not to donate to us and to donate to an individual who really needs it. Because we can only do so much. But an individual knows exactly what they need. So yeah. That's all I got to say on that. Go to that GoFundMe and donate. And on deck, we have mine, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up onto our virtual stage. Give it up for Kai.
Wait, can y'all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. Lift every voice and sing the Negro anthem. We can't use theirs, aren't we just but 3/5 of their human definition? None deserving, scum, with no unalienable rights. Sing, child, oh child of the water, raise your voice loud, child, muffled we were. Under the water, under the rails, under his thumb and in his farm. Raise ye voices loud, sing, dear child, thou new generation has it a chance to break the chains trailing in rails, yet she carved us into a harp one we couldn't play. Play, oh play the harp, strum the strings, intoxicated art thou with the melody, the harmony of all the voices from above, the deep bass and the steady alto, slow melodies trailing the farms from the deep south. Hard whips, cold chains, strong voices, pain and home all in one when we sing. A choir of voices join from above, our predecessors, our ancestors join, connected as we hum the power as we sing. To lift the voices we have, wade in the water they sung, but now we sing a new one. To get a chance, free but trapped, so we join and hum with their guide, lifting our voices high and sharp like a harp. Thank you.
Give it up for the poet. Yes. Really good news. We hit our goal. Someone donated $40. We are at $1,000. Thank y'all so much. I'm going to push our goal up to $1,100. Let's see if we can get another $100 by the end of the night. Again, this GoFundMe is ongoing and will continue to go long after tonight's show. So you can always show your support. We're not starting at 1,000. I just thought $1,000 was reasonable for what we had, the time we had tonight. So definitely keep those donations coming. But I want to thank every single person who donated tonight. It really does mean a lot to me. I know it means a lot to Milani as well. So thank you so much. Yes. Can I see the scores for the last person? Someone said if we hit $1,100, Coco finishes the Carlo Rossi. No, if we hit $1,100, I'll finish the Carlo Rossi. It might not kill me. It'll definitely kill that little ass dog. I love her so much. Lit. And Mike team got a 28.7. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Yes. Yes. So because we hit our goal, Coco will do a trick at the end. We're gonna finish up the poetry portion before we get into the dog. Yes, on deck we have Anita D. But give maximum love to our next poet coming up to the mic. Give it up for my.
Yes.
Hi, can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. And I won't forget how you called my name when I was afraid, and now I'm afraid. So will you remember me? The last time they called me slur was not the last time they told me I wasn't oppressed, and the first time they called me a sinner was my last prayer. That prayer never ended, though. That prayer spits helplessness or death. Every time I say hello is a time I am not ready to say goodbye. I only say goodnight or hello again. I can't risk my goodbye being taken as a death wish / sentence, yet you never see a life sentence on the white straight man. I already wear my straitjacket, just waiting for the chains to tighten around these wrists, hands still clasped in prayer. I used to have chain necklaces. These days, the noose is the only thing I have left to adorn my chest with. I dream in prayer and wake dressed in queer and wait to be put out or to sleep. This body only rests at 4:26 in the night or morning. I'm waiting for this body to caress these sheets and claim bed to be home or casket. I embody a God only known to those who don't believe in her. A funeral only known to those who thought it was their own. I am the envies who cry from their graves. The last time I was called a whore was the first time I flashed tits at the sound of the word. Also the first time my life flashed before my eyes, but not the last. The first time I was called a loving person was not the last time that blindly was put in front of it. This vessel plays with love while mine plays with the devil, but aren't those the same things for a queer bitch? So I pray to feel like a girl again, wondering when I will get a second chance at womanhood, like maybe if a God could give me the will to pretend. I could do better this time. I'll do better this time, I promise. I think. The prayer I started 5 centuries ago for the queer bitch that I am came about 2 days after the splitting of the seas, or lungs, or bottle, or eye sockets, or everything that holds salt water when it shouldn't. These days, the only thing left to cry is blood, sweat, and tears make a mockery of me when I am the excise. So I walk home, still chained and noose decorated, still full of salt water and never saying goodbye, still a body full of forgiveness when none is due. And I won't forget how you called my name when I was afraid, and now I'm afraid. Thank you.
Yes.
Period.
Yes. All right. Give it up for the poet. I have my co-host, Coco, right back with me. We will be doing a trick shortly for those of y'all who donated to our GoFundMe. Thank you so much for supporting our local artists, for supporting survivors tonight. Oh shit, well fuck you too, Coco. Shit. But
wait, Reggie, I need to restart the stream one more time because Instagram has a 60-minute time limit. So please bear with me.
Okay. We'll wait for Instagram. Obviously, Instagram is the Leo of the group. We have to wait for her because she's not ready. Whatever. All I'm saying is, you know, if Instagram was, Instagram, it's the photo app. It's like where you take selfies. If that's not the most Leo ass app. It's like obviously Facebook is a Scorpio because it's low-key like no. Low-key needs to be banned. Twitter is a Gemini because it does what it wants when it wants. Let's see. Instagram is a Leo. What other social media sites are there?
I don't know, MySpace.
MySpace is a Taurus because they were great and perfect and we should have loved it, except nobody really appreciates it as much as it wants. Tauruses deserve more love. Tauruses deserve better horoscope entries. Vine was a Sagittarius because you didn't know what the fuck you was gonna get. You knew you was just gonna get something cool. TikTok is a Gemini because it's trying to be a Sagittarius.
Oh, we're back on Instagram, by the way.
What? I don't even know what Voxer is. Like you, Snapchat, huh?
Snapchat is totally a Aries.
Snapchat is an Aries because it's like mad aggressive, but like for no more than 20 seconds.
Why did you just describe my entire existence in like 20 seconds?
Is Instagram back up?
Yes, it is. It is.
Lit. Wow, I'm so glad that people could feel seen here. Tumblr, we don't talk about Tumblr.
Tumblr is a Cancer.
Tumblr is a Cancer. It had a breakdown. It was a mess. It was messy.
Why am not showing no love to Virgos? You know, we the G's. We come in handy, man.
Look.
Okay. Virgo.
I wasn't gonna be the Virgo to come out here and be like, what about the Virgos? But
look, I have a Virgo rising. I struggle with it. I struggle with it. But yeah, we are going. We could talk more about horoscopes later after the show because I want to know everybody, so give me your birth chart. But on deck, we have figuring out who we giving this money to. Wait, did I say Kai's score?
No.
No, I did not. Thank you. Lit. Kai got a 26.8. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Lit. So on deck, we have figuring out who I'm giving this money to. But give maximum love to your last poet of the night. Give it up for Anita D.
Domestic violence is defined as a pattern of abusive and controlling behavior to gain or maintain power. Studies show there is a correlation between this and male student athletes. While they only make up about 3.3% of the student population, they represent 35% of domestic violence perpetrators. My brother played football. 4 years in high school, 5 in college. He was a lineman. He stood over 6 feet tall, weighed around 300 pounds, and had a voice that sounded like the rumbling under the tunnel just before his team hit the field. I was 16 the first time he put his hands on me. He was angry because I wasn't listening. See, that was part of his control thing. What he said goes, and if I said no, he wasn't having it. This was also the first time he called me a bitch. He fixed his lips without hesitation, placed his hands around my throat, and choked self-respect out of me. See, he liked to choke. I don't know, maybe another one of his control things. It gave him the ability to limit my speech. He liked me more when I was quiet. He really didn't like it when I'd fight back. One time, I tried to play defense, but he spent way too much time on the O-line. He pushed me back as if he was at practice, and I was acting as his blocking pad. Had my mother not been there to get him off of me, I think he would have just kept squeezing. When I was 18, he got angry because I wasn't listening again. I got bold and told him, my father is in the living room. I don't gotta listen to you. So he threw me into the stairwell. I fell and tried to climb up them, but he was coming for me like the ball had been fumbled, and I recovered it first. This time hurt worse than the others. This time I discovered where he got it from. You see, my father played football too. Yeah, see, I believe he was a lineman in high school. He never made it to college, but I know he's always had a passion for the sport. My father has been training my brother to play since he was big enough to hold a football, taught him the importance of being aggressive on the field, how to grip a ball firmly with both hands. He'd run drills around the house to show him how it's done, come home drunk and make an example out of my mother called it late night practice. I don't remember all of it, but my eldest brother tells me about the penalties, about the unnecessary roughness, about the bloodshed. And I didn't want to believe it, but that night in the stairwell, my father said I needed to watch my mouth. He said that I was out of line. He said that I should have gotten punched in the face for speaking to my brother that way. He told me to pack my bags, had his arm wrapped around my brother's shoulder as if he was the coach in his proudest moment. My mother, powerless on the sidelines, begging me not to leave, but I had to. I just couldn't handle the abuse like she used to. Children who witness domestic violence in the home display emotional and behavioral disturbances. Boys who witness domestic violence are twice as likely to abuse as adults. Remember, your children are always watching and are following in your footsteps. Don't forget to show them how to run.
Gang, and I cannot stress this enough, gang. For the last time tonight, give it up for the poet. Yes. Wow, that has been a great night. Can I see the scores for my got a 26.9. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. I'm really wow. It's yeah, wow. Tonight. Words. I can't find them because y'all have left me speechless. You see how I recovered that fumble? But yes. Outside of the football metaphor that was in the previous poem, I didn't even catch that. I just grew up paying way too much sports for my own good. But yeah,
these are her doggy treats. So if you break these off and everything, and you tell her certain tricks, she should do them for you.
Oh my God. Okay, so we're gonna try to get Coco to do some tricks while we get the scores. Coco, come here. Bring your ass over here. You know, Black people, we talk to dogs like they children, and we don't talk to children like shit. We talk to children like small adults, so it works in some ways, but other ways it's like, why? Coco, come here. What are you sniffing for? I got a treat for you. Stop playing with me. Wow, Coco. Come here. See, I gotta be nice to her. See, that's how you know she's a white dog. You gotta be nice to her. Leave my dog alone. You gotta be nice to her to listen. Okay, Coco. All right, so, babe, what tricks does she know?
She knows patita. She knows. So hold on. Sit.
Oh shit, she said.
Good girl. So she does it with one paw, and she knows how to do it with the other one.
Does she?
Yeah, she does. Coco, paw. So that's one side. Now, l'autre. There we go. Coco. There you go.
Yes.
There's also this other trick where like I can make her like dance and spin.
We're not doing that on my lap though.
But we're not doing that.
But Coco, can I get her to like wait. Coco. Don't trip. Just hey. So we have tricks. And we have treats. It is Halloween in December. It is Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Both a Christmas movie and a Halloween movie. It is the bisexual icon of holiday movies. For those of you who are looking for queer history, look it up. But yeah, oh shit. So yeah, can you get me those scores while I entertain y'all with Coco? Coco, she can dance. She's trying to get this treat so bad because he just left it in front of her.
Well, give it to her.
But yeah, Yes, thank you so much to our judges for being, while the poets may lambast you in the comment section, y'all were magnificently consistent. So thank you for being consistent, avoiding score creep, and most of all, putting yourself on blast like that. Yeah, we are still trying to get the list, the scores up. In the meantime, our GoFundMe page for Milani is still up. It will be up. It will be up until we reach the goal. We reached our $1,000 goal for today. But if you can, we definitely encourage you to continue donating. And I have our first, second, what the hell? I just she wants to read the scores. She wants to read the scores. So Coco's gonna read the scores. Okay. What does the first one say? Right. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Right. Okay, I got that. So Coco says that in third place with a 57.5, give it up for Mecca Mayo.
Yeah.
Anything to say to the peoples?
I clearly wanted to be here. I had a root canal before I got here. It is now 1 a.m. and I must be up at 5 a.m. So
that's love. That's love.
I always want to come to this thing, but it's so late and I wake up so early. I just gotta be like, fuck it sometimes.
I'm sorry you have work so early, but I'm glad you could be here. Thank you so much for sharing tonight.
Everyone was so good.
Yeah, everyone was so good. I would hate to be a judge tonight. That's why I'm hosting. Everybody else got the hard ass jobs, not me. In second place with a 58.4, give it up for Mike Ting. Come on,
yeah, this is really good. It was so nice to see some familiar faces, and everyone was really amazing. So thanks for continuing to do this shit. Just
Mike Ting has my whole.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mike.
Mike Ting.
Thank you so much. Yes, and I was champ. I do believe representing Alchemy Slam, was it? I do believe that's like one of our sister shows. But yes, thank you so much for sliding through and sharing your art, of course. And then in first place with a 59.3, give it up for Anita D. Gang.
Anita said, fuck that one.
Yeah, yo, I don't like A slots. They make me upset. So I had to come out the gate hard. And then, I love Mike Ting, but he makes me compete harder. So that's just, I had to go even harder. I seen him. I've competed against Mike Ting since I was 2 years ago. So I was just excited to share the screen with him and Mecca and like everybody, because this whole night was fire.
Yeah, the writing tonight, like, excuse me. Speaking of writing, if y'all didn't know, we have a writing workshop every Wednesday before the show, hosted by our feature. So you should definitely slide through. We always post the writing workshop Zoom link to our Instagram page and our Facebook page. So you should always just slide through, write with us, even you at home. The writing workshops are free, will always be free forever. Forever, yes, forever. If you see Rich Oak in 50 years and I'm not running this shit and they're charging for fucking workshops, come get me. Because I said fucking forever.
Colin's a lawyer.
What?
Colin's a lawyer. He'll sue.
a law school dropout or whatever.
Hey,
Don't say he's a lawyer. He ain't passed no bar exam. He might.
I've been to plenty of bars, fam.
Yeah, period.
All those exams.
Exactly. But yes, thank y'all. Like tonight was an amazing night. The writing was beautiful. The art was amazing. The performance, the drama.
We're 3 subs away from hitting 200 subscribers on Big Poetry Night.
We are also 3 subscribers away from hitting 200 subscribers on our YouTube page, Bay Poets Unite. It's like button poetry for the West Coast, or for the Bay Area, really, because we can't travel everywhere. We can't travel anywhere at all right now.
Yeah.
LOL. We bored in the house and in the house bored. But you should definitely like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with these live streams. We're going to have an amazing show next week with the Oakland Poetry Slam on Tuesday, and then we're going to be back on Wednesday with the Berkeley Poetry Slam. Both of those, our feature will be Dante. Oh fuck! I just got lightheaded. Yes, Dante Clark. So yes, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing feature. You should come on through for a chance. We posted our sign up list in the comment section of the Zoom. We will also post it in the chat of the stream. You should sign up and join us next week for the chance to win cash prizes, but most importantly, share your art in a room full of strangers who are going to do nothing but support you in the comment section. I have been Reggie. This has been the Berkeley Poetry Slam. And we will see y'all next week.
Thank you.
Peace out.
Doom, 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 doom.